If your bees get it, you've got to burn the hives and all the equipment you use. It's pretty nasty.
So it's Saturday here in New Zealand. It's beautiful, beautiful weather. We've got like 22 degrees here. But what's happening today is we've just seen going through our neighbourhood for the second time this last few days a swarm of bees. So we have bees on our property and we've been beekeeping for 2 or 3 years now, and so we're going to check our bees. So we live in a suburban area and it's very safe to keep them. I'm learning. My husband knows most of it, but I've started helping him out because I really enjoy the fact that we have them. I feel like we're contributing, but I just wanted to show you what we do because we're just checking to make sure that everyone's safe and happy. We don't have too many queens and that we're not going to have any swarms ourselves. Just don't want the bees to get me. I've even got to tuck it into my belt. Now that we look really amazing.
Diseases like I can't see very well, but there's a mite that sits in their backs sometimes. Got to keep an eye out for that. So I can see larvae in there, eh?
Oh yes, look. Got little larvae in there.
And those big fat ones sticking out of drones, so they're male ones.
So those big...
The ones that poke out a lot more are male?
One there?
Yeah. Yeah.
2 hives. We've got another one over the other side of the property that's just baby and starting to get itself established. So we've had to look after that one and make sure it's got enough honey, which has been a learning curve for us, eh?
Yeah.
Because it's hard to feed them. It's actually a really thick sugar syrup you put in there, but just learning how much they need and how to give it to them so they don't all drown.
Oh, they look good.
Gosh, it's so fascinating. What are you touching them for?
To get them to move away, so I can see if there's any queen cells. You know, got to check they're not got any swarming stuff going on, which they don't. See, like drawing that out.
What's that?
They're drawing it all out. Drawing it out is pulling it from flat out to this honeycomb thing. That's when you're drawing out. So it starts at the bottom, they draw it out, ready for either pollen or honey or something.
So they're building it pretty much?
Yeah, see that's all nicely drawn out from last time. So drawing that ready for honey storage or whatever they want in there.
Yeah. So what's the story with the colours at the front?
They don't mean anything to us, but the bees can identify that as their hive by the colour. They had a whole lot of hives stacked up together. The bees would know, oh, this is my hive. Pretty clever, eh?
Yeah, so do you put the smoke under the...
Yeah, just under and around. They find their way.
They'll start panicking?
Yeah, they'll go and start drinking. So you put that in there, they go and start drinking the honey. Some more stuff in it, because here it's blowing out ash. It's all on fire, so...
Oh.
Yeah. Do it.
I'll hold it.
Cool.
I don't mind gassing. Gassing the bees.
Let's look through here and see how this is going.
Okay. No.
Oh, that's quite full of honey, eh?
Yes.
And see how they made a queen cell at the bottom?
Where?
Right there.
No.
So if a queen plants an egg in there, they extend it out and down, it turns into a queen.
So
queen
what do you do? You
plant
just mush it so that they can't do that?
Yeah. So it's getting quite heavy now.
Yeah, so this is the honey we would extract?
When it's capped, it's got to be capped first. So they fill it up, they dry it all out, and it goes to the right consistency, and then they cap it. Just to make sure I got it from. Yeah. The most important thing is not to squish the queen.
Do you have to check the bottom?
Yeah, I do, but before I check the bottom, I put the lid on again. That keeps those ones all nice.
My camera ran out of battery, so I'm just going to finish off what we were doing. We extract honey in, I think, like late January, February, something like that. So we've got quite a few months of honey collecting to do, so we have to keep track of those. But I wanted to show you the small hive we've got. This particular one you call a little nuke. We've found an excess queen in one of those larger hives, and we had to transport her to somewhere safe that was separate from everywhere else. Might not be much activity. This is just a small hive. And if you look closely, see the bees coming and going. I wish I could have shown you inside before when we were looking at it. So the queen is happy in there. We did spot her. And they're capping honey. They've got frames that they're building up, and they're all pretty happy coming and going. So we're just hoping that they can stay strong this spring, and we'll probably sell this one because we can't manage 3 hives. Feels like a bit much. Hey kitty cat. So James is getting started on our veggie garden for the summer. Digging it over. Thank you, James. I gave myself blisters and splinters on that wooden handle.
I got a better one now. This is a much better wooden handle.
So you changed the whole handle?
Different spade and proper handle. So smaller head.
Yes.
Better if they're going to break the garden.
Got lots of plans for this garden. Lots of things I need to do. But that will have to be tomorrow's job because I've got tons of washing to bring in and fold. One more task before we finish is to go for a walk. Hazel? Go for a walk. So just a quick word about the bees. Every year we always think we're getting rid of the bees. Is it every year or is it when something goes wrong?
They do take a bit of effort, so sometimes I think I don't know if we can be bothered with this. You have to be registered to be allowed to keep bees, otherwise it's illegal. You've got to do mite treatment, which is a cost of $30 a year for the strips.
Right.
She trial of varroa mite.
Varroa mite.
One AFB inspection a year, which is done for free because of my friend.
Yes.
Who does it for me.
Basically you're paying to be able to keep bees. It's
Yeah.
not really something that you do because it saves you money.
No, not unless you want to be a commercial beekeeper.
And it doesn't matter how many beehives you have.
I think it's about $60 per beekeeper, then about $2.50 per extra hive you have.
On top of the first one.
Yeah, so for a commercial beekeeper that's quite a lot of money. But then that helps manage the main thing is managing the American foul brood program, which is a disease which is just, if your bees get it, you've got to burn the hives and all the equipment you use. It's pretty nasty.
That would be awful.
Yeah, it would be, But
Yeah.
they're trying to stop it spreading throughout New Zealand, but I think it's spreading throughout New Zealand, so.
And it's spreading because people aren't registering and checking for varroa mite.
Oh, the worst cases is when a beekeeper has a number of hive sites and they use the same equipment at each site and spread the disease. And then bees often can go between hives too, so some bees from my hive might go to for instance, a varroa mite infected hive and bring back varroa mites, or be visited by bees from a varroa mite infested hive. And it's incredibly difficult to eradicate a disease once it's here. Not to mention the beekeeping kit. They've got to buy more frames and
Yes.
So
when
stuff.
we found the queen in the last hive, we had the extra queen and we've kind of made that little nuke on the side. We've thought, oh well, that could be a way of selling a hive and creating some income, because you can sell them for a few $100s to people who need a queen and some to get started on another hive, especially people who have lost hives and they need to replenish, like professional beekeepers. So you can sell them, and that way we thought we could use that money to buy more frames, buy any new equipment like James's kit that's got this big hole under the arm. We did find one bee inside his shirt, but it looked pretty harmless. It actually looked really unhappy to be inside your shirt.
It's like, how the heck do I get out of here?
Get me out of here. Every year we learn something more. Last year we starved a hive unintentionally. This year we nearly did it again because we didn't realise that we still hadn't given them enough food, but we saved it just by being attentive at the change in the season, especially in the spring when it goes hot weather, cold weather. They really want to get out and about, and then there's a few days when they can't get out because it's so cold. They really like the warmer temperatures when you go in to check on them, so trying to check on them regularly is hard when the weather's not great. Anyway, it's all a learning curve, and it's fascinating the way bees work. And he's predominantly done all of it. I'm interested, but I often can't be bothered. But I do like it when I'm out there.
Can I tell the story? Or you told already?
No, I haven't.
Our little nucleus of hives, so the hive was about to swarm, so we took a queen and a few things of brood and we put them into a little starter hive. Hazel, come here. Left it for a few days so you get used to the hive and reset the internal GPS so they don't leave the hive, so you lock it up, put it in a different part of the section, leave it for a couple of days and check on it.
Yes.
Anyway, it got really cold, like a cold snap, bit of hail.
Yes, it was
really
freezing.
cold.
Yes.
And I checked on the hives hoping they made it through and it looked like they're all dead. So all the bees not moving, still clinging to each other, but looked cold and dead. I thought I'd killed the entire hive.
Had to put the dog on a lead. Okay.
They'll look dead, like honestly clustered together, cold, not moving, looked dead. I was going to scrape them off into the garden. I thought I was so disappointed. I took a frame inside to show Wendy, and one of the bees must have dropped off on the bench. And she was wiping the bench later in the day, and the bee was alive. It was moving.
It was.
And so Wendy went back outside to check the hive, and the hive had kind of come back to life. They'd just been like in some sort of cold hibernation or something.
Like a dormant state to reserve it or conserve energy.
Yeah, so they came back to life. We fed them, and they're doing well. Queen's alive, laying. It's going fine. So
yeah,
we learned something this year, that even though the bees look like they're dead because of the cold, they actually can recover.
What you doing, Hazel? Oh my goodness, there's people fishing. And they're in shorts and a t-shirt.
Mm-hmm.
You're a bit scared of kitties, eh? Hazel, what are you doing?
I don't even need a recipe for this anymore.
They've made us whatever veggies you could find in the fridge, eh?
Yeah.
And tofu, is that right?
Yeah, I just use garlic. What else? I use garlic, ginger, soy sauce, and oil.
Yum. Just got back from our walk and Emma's prepared some yummy dinner for us. We're going to have some vegetables and she's cooked some tofu. So we're going to have some dinner. Thank you so much for watching today and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.